Good evening, Stampers. I'm Sandy Harka, and we are here at Stamp and Go, which is the second Tuesday of the month every month. Okay. We are going to be creating three cards tonight, and we're going to be using a new set from the online exclusives. If you would like to earn a free card kit, that's two of each of the three cards that we're making tonight. You can place an order for $35 through me, and I will get that to you. And if you place your order for 50, you will also get a set of free embellishments. Now, we do have classes on Zoom Live, or you can get the recording every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you're interested in that, you need to get on my mailing list. The link is below, or you can shoot me an email, and my email is below also. All right, so let's get started. All right, tonight we are going to be using Lovely Arrangements, which is the new set that we're going to be using, and these are the dies that come along with that. Now, you've probably noticed that all of our new stuff is coming out in the new packaging, which gives you lots of extra space because it's so slim and narrow. So, let's get started. Here is a card number one, okay? And this one has a lot of flowers in it. So I'm not going to have you sit there and watch me stamp all the flowers. We're just going to stamp one, and I have the rest of them already done. But for this card, you'll need three large full ones and two of the half ones, kind of the sideways view, okay? I'm going to bring in my foam mat. Now, these are outline stamps, so normally you don't really need your mat, but I want to have a dark background here for you to see. And so I'm going to bring in my foam mat just for that. Now, when you're using stamps with the photopolymer stamps, which all of our stamps are going to be from now on, and you have the full solid images, then you really should get out your foam mat. Make sure that you get a good imprint from your stamp. Okay, now we're going to line this up. You can see there's a little dip right there, and I'm going to line it up with that little dip right there. Hover over it and then give it a good press. Nice. All right, now, like I said, I already have the other stamps or the other full images already cut for you. And here are the two small side views. Now we're going to take our dark pool party. I'm going to take the brush end and I'm going to come out from the center just a little bit, just to give that a little bit of interest. So I'm going to kind of start in the center and flick outwards. Now you can do as much or as little as you like. So if you like it more colorful, you can always add more than I'm adding here. All right, there we go. And you don't have to be perfect. It just kind of looks nice if it's not perfect, okay? We're going to take our Wink of Stella, and we're also going to come out from the center with our Wink of Stella. Now, I know you probably cannot see this online. Wink of Stella does not pick up well on my camera anyway, but you can see that I am flicking out just like I did with the blend. Okay, so now we have these all stamped, colored, and winked. We're going to grab these centers. Now, these are called drucy dots, embellishments, gems. Now we're going to put the big ones in the middle of the full flowers. Now one more big one here. There, whoops, I got that plastic. All right, and we're going to use the smaller ones for the side views. So we'll put it right down there, right towards the edge of that petal that's coming out right there. Okay, there we go. So now we have our flowers done. The last, no, not the last, next to the last. We're going to use the triple leaf stamp, and I've already got two of those done. This is your stamp, and we're going to use Shaded Spruce. Okay, so let's ink this up. Now, this is a solid image stamp, and so your foam mat is a really good idea to use for this because otherwise, sometimes you just don't get a good imprint. So this is easy to line up. So we're going to hover over and then just press. And there we go. We have our last one. Okay, let's close this up so I don't get my elbow in it. Now we are going to, I also used Wink of Stella on these. So we have lots of sparkle on this card. Now you want to be a little bit careful because Wink sometimes causes your inks to bleed. And so we want to keep that inside the image there when you're using Wink of Stella. All right, lay these over to the side. And now this is the last stamp that we have for this card. So you'll have one piece of white in there, and you're going to use it for both of your cards that you'll be making. We're using the Hello Friend. So let's ink that up. And I'm going to stamp it if I can. I'm going to stamp it right down here at the bottom. That way I have less cutting to do. And if it doesn't work out for you, then you can just use a couple of more snips with your paper snips. All right, we are going to cut this out. And this one's pretty easy because it's just going to be straight across. And it does not have to be perfect, okay? This is not perfection. This is a handmade card. So we have Hello Friend there. We're going to carefully cut between the O and the F. Nice. I'm going to lay that up here on the black so I can find it in a minute when I need it. Okay, let's bring in the card base, which looks like this. Opens at the bottom, and this is Pool Party. We're going to use a piece of designer paper, and this is from a set called Distressed Pattern. And add a, oops, this is a new one. There we go. I was going to say, this is a full bottle. It should be coming out pretty well. All right, we're going to come down here at the bottom and almost, but not quite to the edge. So we have just a tiny, tiny bit of pool showing around the edge here. Then the next piece goes above that, and this is embossed with one of the new folders called All in a Row. There we go. All right. And by the way, if you get glue on your hands a lot, one of the neat ways to avoid that is to use dots of glue instead of scribbling glue all over the back. This is really all you need. So you're conserving glue anyway by doing this. You'll save money and you can buy more stamp sets with it. All right, let's nuzzle this up next to the designer paper and then just square it up with the rest of the card. Now, I'm ready to put on my flowers, and I am going to put them on with glue dots because, well, number one, I don't have to sit there and wait for it to dry because we've got a lot of images going on here. And number two, then I can lift up the petals if I need to slip one in underneath it. So I'm going to put a glue dot there. Excuse me. This one is dipping down over the designer paper and coming up to the edge here. The next full one is going next to that. And it's coming down just slightly below that, but I am going to slip it underneath that edge right there. So it's coming down just a little bit there. Okay. The next large one is going to go up. So that one's going up here above this one a little bit, but we're going to slip that just right under that petal. Nice. Okay, now we're going to bring in the half ones. Now this one we're going to put over here on the right edge. And I am going to use a glue dot there, and that's going to go over this side and come up not quite to this one and kind of angle it a little bit, just about right there. Yeah, like that. Okay, now I am going to use a dimensional on this one, and this is the only one that has a dimensional. So you want to pop it back here, and this one is going to go over these two right here. So about right there, and just press that down. Now we're ready to put the leaves on, and I'm going to grab a glue dot, put it on the back side, And this one we're going to slip under. See, now, because we have glue dots there, we can lift these up and place the leaves right underneath there. And number 2 is going to go way over here on the right-hand side. So we're going to lift these up, slide those under, and try, if you can, to bring this third leaf up just a little bit right there, just so it kind of peeks out. And then the last one we're going to put down here near the bottom, and that's going to slip right under here, and it's going to overlap this little flower right there. So just press that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so the last part that we have to put on here will be the hello friend. Now you can use glue on this if you prefer. I am just going to quickly put a couple of glue dots on here because that way I don't have to sit and wait for it to dry. And this friend is going to go right in here between these two flowers. Okay, then all we have is the hello. Couple right there. All righty, and then we're going to bring this one over just a little bit so that the F and the E are vertically above each other. Then we have one last thing, and that's one large brass butterfly, and that is going to be flying in from the right towards the left. All right, isn't that pretty? All right, I hope you're enjoying these cards. If you are, you might want to subscribe to my channel and be sure to join us every second Tuesday of the month. We'll be here with a different stamp set on those days. Also, don't forget to sign up to be on my mailing list. That link is below, or you can shoot me an email and we'll get you set up, and my email is below. All right, so let's move this out and move in our number 2, which looks like this. This is a really fun set. It's a simple set, but it lends lots of possibilities to create different designs. Okay, we're going to bring in, you have 3 of the large flowers. So again, I'm not going to have you sit there and stamp all of those. We're just going to stamp one. So let me find my large full flower, and we're going to use Memento. You can use actually any black ink here. Let's ink this up. Find this part right here. And I believe that is right here. Yeah. Okay. This is a real easy one to line up. Sometimes these aren't easy to line up, but this one works out really nicely. All right. I'm using Wink of Stella. So let me grab my Wink. And again, we're coming out here. This does darken up a little bit when you put it on your cardstock. So you probably are not having much success seeing this online, but you will see it when you do it yourself. All right, we're going to bring 3 flowers. Now, only 2 of them. You know what? It looks like I did not wink these, so I'm going to go ahead and wink these while we're chatting. We are not going to put centers on one of them, so we're only going to put a center on 2 of them. And we are using the holographic dots, which I find beautiful. I use them quite frequently. And we're going to put one large one in each of 2 of them. The other one we're going to leave without. Okay, so let's move these over. We have one last stamp to do, and that's going to be on the label. And for this one, we're using Sending Smiles. So let's ink that up, hover over, and rock. Make sure we get the top and bottom of all those letters. All righty, so let's pop. You know what? For this one, on the back side, we're going to put a dimensional over here on the left side. And then when we get ready, we'll put a glue dot on the right side. So while I have it and while I'm remembering, let's go ahead and put that one dimensional underneath the left side. You'll see why in a little bit. Okay. That's all of the stamping that we have to do right now. So let's bring in the card base, which is thick white, opens on the right-hand side. And then we have an overlayer, and this was embossed with the exposed brick embossing folder. And you've probably noticed if you watch my classes and the Stampin' Goes, I use this a lot because number one, it's not in your face. It's a nice subtle design and it remains in the background, but yet it gives you that texture, which I think is awesome. I like texture in cards. Now, we have two pieces here. One is the black and one is, let's just call this lattice. It's a circle lattice, but that's what we'll call it. So I'm going to attach these two together. And I am going to use glue dots, again, just simply for quickness. I'm going to put one glue dot in each corner. For this, since we're working on the back of the foil, you can just use regular glue if you want to. Now we're going to center that on the black. Isn't that pretty now? It just makes that circle lattice pop, doesn't it? That dark contrast in the background. Now I am going to go ahead and I can use glue on the back of this. And it will have time to set here. All right, let's layer that and we'll kind of make sure that we get even all the way around. Okay, nice. Now we're going to bring in our flowers. And again, I'm going to use glue dots simply so that we're working on top of foil. And when we do that, it's often a good idea to use glue dots. We're going to put one of the full flowers. I'm going to turn this. I like that angle better. And that one's going right up here at the top. I'm going to grab another one. And we're going to pop that one right down here at the bottom. So we're leaving a little space there. You see a little peak of gold there. All right, and now we're going to put on number 3. And this is the one without the center, okay? And that one is going about right here. I think that's looking good. All right, right there. Okay. Now we have die cuts. These are not stamped. These are just die cuts. We have 2 of the double leaves and 1 of the single. The single we are going to place right over here at this side, right about right here. Okay, and we're going to use glue dots again on the doubles. One is going to slip right under here. Nice. One last set of doubles. And that's going to slip right under there. Cool, cool. Now, the last thing that we have for gluing will be our sentiment. Now, remember I said the dimensionals on the left side. We're going to put a glue dot on the right, underneath the right side. Oops, missed it. There we go. And the reason is because now this is lifted up, but the sending is going to be flat down. So we didn't want it tilted like that. So we're going to start here in the middle of that middle flower and then just press. And if you take the topper off, it sticks a whole lot better. So take that topper off and just press down. Now, one last thing, bring back the holographic dots, and we're going to scoop up a little one of the small ones, and that's going to go right there. We're going to tuck that right in there on the black. All right. I hope you enjoyed that card. Don't forget, if you would like a free card set, so 2 of each of the 3 designs that we're working on today, place an order for $35 with me, and you have until the 19th. So you have 7 days to get that order in, and then I will be prepping your packet and getting that to you. If you place a $50 order, you'll get the free card kit plus a set of embellishments. Okay, let's move to card number 3, which looks like this. This is our easy card. I always try to give you your easy card towards the end of the session That way, if you're getting tired, you don't have to worry about thinking too much. Okay, so we have one large and one small. I'm going to bring back that mat so that you can see these. This is the half flower or the side view. So let's ink this up and hover over. Nice. Okay. And we're going to grab that full flower, ink that up. I think we're lined up pretty well there. Press down. Nice. Now, I'm going to use my blend. So this is light daffodil. And I'm going to just come out a little bit from the centers just to give that a little bit of shading. You can do the same thing here. Yeah. So you kind of start in the center and then just flick outward. Does not have to be a precise movement, just a flicking. Okay. Now, if you want to, you can use Wink of Stella on this. I am not at this moment, but we are going to add our center. So for the large full flower, we're using the large holographic dot. And for the half flower, we're using the small one. All right, let's get those out of the way. And well, we can leave this in. I am looking for the label, the white label here, and we're going to stamp it in black ink with Sending Smiles. Rock it slightly to make sure you get the top and the bottom of all of those letters. Okay. All right, let's get rid of this and our ink. We are done with ink. Bring in the card base, which is thick white, and we're opening at the bottom. And then the next layer is the embossed layer, and this one is Beautiful Pattern. So it is one of my favorites. Also, again, it's one of those that you can use frequently because it's pretty, gives you texture, but it doesn't really pop out at you. It's not one of those deep impressions. All right, now we've used one of the other dies in this set to give us this pretty background. So we're going to add a little bit of glue to the openings there. You want to make sure you stay away from the openings so this glue does not pop through. There we go. And we're going to bring this about 3/4 of an inch and then center it top to bottom. All right, very good. Now, let's go ahead and put on the Sending Smiles. And you know what? I am going to use glue dots on this just because if I don't, we'll have to sit there and wait for it to dry a bit. And I want to keep moving for you. So this is going to come up about 1/2 inch. And the blue line will come right there at the in sending. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to use a dimensional for the full flower. And that's going on the back of this big full flower. And that's going to go about right here. Okay, kind of, yeah, I like that better. It looks a little better that way. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for I did not press down apparently on the holographic dot because it just popped off. We're going to use another dimensional on the back of that. And that's going to angle just a little bit over here. You don't want to come over the Sending Smiles. Now we have die cuts. We have 3 of the double leaves. So we're going to use the glue dots for those also. Again, you can use regular glue if you prefer, because you don't have to worry about sitting there and waiting and boring everybody. Okay, there is one. The next one is going to go up at the top, up here. We're going to slide that right under the big flower. Number two, or this is actually number three, isn't it? All right, and we're going to slide that under over here so it comes over to the side about like that. Okay, now the last thing that we have to do on this one is to have our big butterfly flying from the right over towards the left, and then your card is ready for sending. All right. I hope you enjoyed this evening. I think this is a pretty set. It's fairly simple to use, which is nice. And don't forget to put your order in to get your free card kit. And if you enjoyed this evening, please follow or subscribe to my channel. I would very much appreciate it. And then come back and see us the second Tuesday of the month in February, which will be the 10th, February the 10th. We'll see you then. Take care.